This is the Anything Goes with Jackson Neill podcast. Welcome back. I'm your host, Jackson Neill, here for episode number 102. Today I'm going to be talking with Jae Mansa, the hip-hop duo, about their latest project, Young Kings. But before we jump into that, I just want to remind everyone that this podcast is available on all of your favorite platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and SoundCloud. It's also available on JacksonNeillPodcasts.com, the home for all of the podcasts I publish. So, the duo of Jae Mansa is comprised of North Carolina cousins Darren Johnson and Brandon Boone. And together, they just released their second project, Young Kings. It's their first out with Roc Nation and a distribution deal they just signed. So they have that project out, Young Kings, one that I'm really enjoying. And they have a lot of other cool stuff planned for the rest of 2019 and even going into 2020. So in this interview, I talked to them about the project and all the stuff they got coming up. All right, yeah, so can you guys tell me a little bit about your latest project, Young Kings?
Young Kings, dropped that. Well, pretty much this is our second album, we switched it up different from my first album. I don't know if you heard it, it's called F-Trump, We took a different route, different approach, trying to get the fans a different feel, I got our two singles up there, Fading, I Swear. Them two singles going crazy. The rest of the songs, it's just an album we made from the soul, man, from the heart, telling us about our story, our life, And it's doing good, It's doing good on the internet. People liking it. Hometown like it. People love it. So
yeah, the record's still picking up. So we still grinding for real.
Mm-hmm. You said right there it's different than your first project. Why did you guys decide to switch it up with this one?
The first project was kind of like the old sound, the boom bap sound, and the Young King was like more up to date. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback on the first project as well, but I think the second one was way better from our standpoint of view anyway, because it show our development, I just show our growth. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, for real. Came a long way since that first mixtape dropped.
Mm-hmm. So
Cadence flows, how we did the hook, everything.
Yeah. So I'm kind of drawn by that name, Young Kings. Why that name for this project?
Young Kings basically named after us. Young Kings. King Manamusa. You ever heard of King Manamusa? One of the richest black men that ever lived. The richest black man that ever lived.
Mm-hmm. History way back in the day, yeah.
A king of the Mali Empire, Timbuktu, an African king, accumulated his wealth off gold and salt. He was taking this tribe to Mecca. He gave out so much gold that he caused a mass inflation in Mecca, and he was one of the first to sail the 7 seas, but he had 300 ships, 3,000 ships back then. He founded the first university. Yeah, man, we basing everything off him. Young Kings. He was an African king, and we naming ourselves Young Kings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I saw that king really inspires a lot of your stuff. Especially this project. I guess when was the first time you heard about that story, and when was the first time that you thought, okay, this could definitely inspire our music?
Well, my manager, who was also my father, he when we first moved to Atlanta about 4 years ago, he's the one who actually gave us the background and knowledge on King Manamusa. So like I said, man, not too many people gonna know about this unless you do the research for yourself. Because it's something they'll tell you. So that's why it's important that we're trying to get this message out. Because it's never gonna be told unless you either go find it or you won't hear from somebody like us. So we just trying to give people a different aspect, different broad. call each other kings. You know what I'm saying? Stop calling each other niggas.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I think I read somewhere that you guys like to, and I heard this in your project, that you guys like to have these almost positive messages in there, and I think this whole idea of this African King is one of those. I guess why do you guys like to have those positive messages in your music? Why do you kind of like differentiate yourselves like that?
Because nowadays music, like, it's foolery, you know what I'm saying? They telling each other, shoot each other, kill each other, pop mollies, blow money. We trying to teach them how to save money, invest, you know what I'm saying, become kings.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I can explain it, for real.
That's to say, simple as way, for real. Everybody talking about this dumb stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And wonder why everybody fucked up still to the start of my language. It's like everybody messed up to this day, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you're allowed to curse on this, no problem. But yeah, I mean, I was actually just listening to Jay-Z, I think, like the other day, 444, and it's like crazy to listen to a project like that and hear about how many legitimate issues and smart things he talks about compared to a lot of other music nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the influences from that Young Kings album. J. Cole was his album. Nipsey too.
Nipsey was an influence.
Oh.
Yeah,
man, guys like that, man. The real, those guys we respect and look up to.
Definitely, yeah. Some big names I also saw you guys mention as your influences, like, you know, Biggie Smalls, Wu-Tang Clan, Tupac. You know, obviously there's kind of those legendary artists in hip hop. I kind of want to go into some of the songs. One of the big singles off of this project was "Fate." Can you just tell me a little bit about making that track?
Fate pretty much explains itself, controlling your own destiny. But how we came about the track, my producer SL was in the studio vibing. He made this crazy beat, and the beat was so crazy. Instead of, like, we usually write the verses first before we do the hooks, and just tie the hook in with both verses. But this track was different. You know what I'm saying? We had to approach it different. So we was like, we're gonna hold this off until we get somebody that could do the hook. So my producer was like, I think I got somebody that could do the hook. So we just put that beat on ice for a little while. Then he had hit us up out the blue one day. Was like, man, I got this hook for y'all. Y'all ready? Sent this to us. He sent it to us. But at first we were kind of skeptical about making the song off that hook because it sounded like a little down south, you know what I'm saying? But we was like, with our flow, we still can make it work, you know what I'm saying? So then we ended up making the song, and just so happened it's like one of the biggest songs off our album. That and I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I read somewhere that you guys almost didn't. At first, you thought, the beat for Fate really wasn't something that you guys thought was in your type of music. But then all of a sudden, you guys kind of switched your mind, like you said, and found that hook.
Yeah, like I was saying, it sounded like a down southish hook. Like it sounded more Atlanta-ish. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but it still had content. So we were like, okay. It sound down southish, but it's still span for something. So we were like, okay, we can make it work. That's how we made. That's how the song came about, for real. And we were just telling our story on the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks off of the project. In addition to a couple others, another track. You mentioned this one, I Swear. Can you tell me a little bit about that one too? That's another track I saw that definitely was doing some numbers as well.
I Swear is more like a hood saying. Like when we grew up from, it's like people used to be like, boy, I swear on my mama, I'm gonna hit this girl. I swear on my mama, I'm gonna have 100,000 by the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a hood saying. We just turned it into a song, and just so happened it came out pretty well to me. Matter of fact, that's one of the first songs we made for the album. The first song we made for the album. Yep, sure was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? So that
we just had all the other songs we made and we just put it together. We dropped that song. Yeah, what before?
Success Light was one of the first songs we did, and we did that before I Swear. But we had went back and started searching through some old songs, found Success Light, and we add like a bounce to the beat, and yeah, Success Light was the first song, but Boy I Swear was the first song for the album. But we had to go back and look through some more records to find Success Light. Success Light, one of my favorites on the album too.
Yeah, I think Success Like might be my favorite one. I remember listening to that. I was listening to that a couple of times, and I thought, yeah, I wonder what $1 million feels like too. That was a line that that stuck out in my mind.
You like Better Days? Better Days? I like Better Days too.
I think Our Time into Better Days. I think that's a really cool end to the project. I think it wrapped everything up well.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that too.
So I also saw that you guys recently signed a distribution deal with Roc Nation. What is it? Can you just tell me a little bit about that deal? Like why that deal with that label, I guess?
It pretty much made more sense. How the deal came about, we went to Tidal one day, and we had like a business meeting with Tidal, and we played some songs for them, and they was like, "Oh, this is it. Y'all could be one of our first acts for the distribution deal. The equity distribution, we one of the first acts." So how it came about, we went to the meeting, Mercedes had hit us up with like, y'all ready to make this transition? We were like, yeah. But at the time, we didn't know we were signed. We was on the way to New York for Lala's Halloween party. And when we was on the way, we was drinking, like we like an hour out from New York from the party. We was drinking and stuff in the Sprinter van. My uncle was like, "I got a surprise for y'all. Y'all know y'all signed to Roc Nation now." We was like, "Hold on, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, y'all signed to Roc Nation, and we got a surprise for y'all tomorrow too." So we went to the Lala's birthday party, turned up. The next day, we just sitting in the Uber, and my man Lenny S jumped in the Uber like, "Congratulations, man! I like y'all music." So right then we was like, "Hold on, what was about to happen?" We walking Drew Lanes. Everybody was in there like snapping pictures. It was crazy. Like it was a big surprise. Like shocked us for real.
Yeah.
Got it, man. Shout out to Roc Nation, man.
Definitely. And I mean, we were just talking about, an artist like Jay-Z, I guess. What does it mean to you guys to be on a label or have a distribution deal with a label that was founded by somebody that has a really, really long history in hip-hop?
I mean,
it's cool. It's cool for real, but
I think it make more sense because the type music he make and the type music we make is pretty much the same. So I think it made sense at the end of the day. But we still own everything, all our rights and everything. So it's just like a business move. The name looked better behind Jae Mansa, pretty much.
It was just a little move. It ain't just a little play we made.
Definitely. And so you guys still have like kind of creative control over everything. They're not going to tell you guys what kind of songs to make. You guys still get to decide all that.
Yeah, we got everything.
Yeah, that's why I said we got rights and own everything. We still own everything. It's just like we just got the name behind us.
Yeah. We didn't even put out our album through them. Either because by the time we were done promoting and doing everything, they didn't, it wasn't no reason to put it out through them. So get a percentage for what.
Gotcha. I mean, that's definitely an awesome way, and it's like you said, smart business move there. Not just signing a normal deal, maybe getting stuck in that. So a really smart move by you guys.
It's way better than sounding your life away there. You really don't know what you got yourself into.
I've heard the horror stories from plenty of artists who have said, it took them years to get out of the deal. So smart job by you guys to just, keep that kind of creative control. So I see you guys are from North Carolina, and North Carolina's having a really huge time in hip-hop right now. I mean, you mentioned an artist like J. Cole. I think of people like Rhapsody as well. What's it like to be from that state during this time of this crazy hip-hop explosion?
I think Carolina could really take it over right now. Because the baby going crazy right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he got the little dude with him, Stunner Vegas. Yeah, both of them going crazy right now. And I think it's a couple of more artists. I think it's a female artist from out of Winston. They were talking about Tia Corinne. Actually, I used to work with her in the shoe store in High Point. But, yeah, I think I heard Charlamagne say something about her. So there's a lot of artists from North Carolina that's upcoming right now. Like, it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm actually releasing an interview with an artist, Austin Royale. He's from North Carolina. I'm releasing that interview tomorrow, and like it's crazy. I keep on hearing that state and the different hip hop artists coming out of there. It's really having a cool moment right now.
You said what was the artist name again?
Austin Royale.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna probably have to look him up.
Yeah, I think he does music with like JK the Reaper and all them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a lot of talent in North Carolina. Like this is. Yeah, from where we from, it's a small town, but there's a lot of talent in that little small town, and a lot of people don't know how to get away from it. So that, like, pretty much, a lot of people wouldn't never heard of their music because they don't got the know-how. You know what I'm saying? So, what we trying to do is blow up and reach down and give people help in hand and show them the way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So what do you think it was about you guys that made it so successful that you guys were able to kind of make your music heard outside of just the state or outside of just your hometown, but make it heard, nationwide, and now with somebody like Roc Nation behind you guys, worldwide?
I mean, it's been a long time coming, man. 4 years working, grinding. There was one point they weren't moving nowhere, so everything a process in what you do. And so you just got to take time, patient with it, and stay consistent for real. Yeah,
then just so fortunate we had somebody that was behind us that was able to help push, like putting the money behind us and let us be heard and meeting people. And like in this game, you meet a lot of people that say they can do something a lot, but really don't, but really just learning just like you. So we've been through a lot of people like that. And it was hard at first, but now it's picking up because we learning and we didn't grow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we meeting new people that's really about what they say they're about. So at the end of the day, we ain't got no other choice but to move forward because we was already rock bottom. So anything better than nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like they said, if you at the bottom, the only way to go is up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You guys want to see what $1 million is like? Exactly.
Right.
So
I want to see what 100 million feel like.
You're talking about Jay-Z. I want to see what $1 billion feels like.
Yeah, for real.
So you guys, you have this project out, Young Kings. It's doing really well. You got this distribution deal with Roc Nation. You guys are really, having a great year so far. I just want to know, how does it feel? How are you guys feeling heading into the rest of 2019 and beyond?
I feel like it's a bright future ahead of us. We performing at Birthday Bash. We're gonna be out Cali for the awards. DJ awards. Yeah, then we got like another. We're gonna be on a radio promo run from like the July the 1st to the 7th. Then I think we got something going on in August. Like, it's looking real bright. Yeah, we just had a radio interview where. Yesterday, it really was an interview, and dude was pretty much telling us how we're gonna perform us on the show. I think he said August, 20,000 fan crowd. I think he said 50,000 on the end, something like that. Then 500,000. I think opening up for 2 Chainz or something like that. Wow. Yeah, like an event in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. We like over 5. We ain't got the full details because we just talked about it the other day, but. It's in the making. It's in the works.
Well, that sounds awesome. I'm really happy I got the chance to talk with you guys, and I really enjoy the project. Thanks for doing this interview.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for having us, man. Yeah, for
real. Another big thank you to Darren and Brandon for coming on to the podcast. Remember, if you want to go check out their project, which I definitely recommend you do, go down into the show notes. There, I'll have a link for you to listen to Young Kings on your favorite streaming platform. Also, if you want to keep up with Jae Mansa, figure out everything that the duo is doing now with all these big plans they got headed up in the future, make sure to follow them on social media. I'll have links to their Instagram or Twitter down in the show notes. And that will wrap it up for this episode of the Anything Goes with Jackson Neill podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe and rate this podcast on your favorite platforms, as that does a lot to help grow the show. Remember, New episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. For more episodes, go down into the show notes and visit the link to JacksonNeillPodcasts.com. There you'll find all of the episodes to this podcast, as well as the Jackson Neill Music and Sports Podcasts. New episodes of the Music Podcast on Sundays and the Sports Podcast coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're a big fan of the show, maybe consider becoming a supporter on Patreon. For just a couple dollars a month, you can get access to bonus content from my interviews here on Anything Goes, including today's with Jae Mansa, where I ask them about their favorite music, their favorite movies they've seen recently, and Duke or North Carolina in college basketball because they are from North Carolina. On Patreon, you also get access to bonus segments for my sports and music podcasts. I write, record, and produce these podcasts myself as a full-time college student, so any little bit of support really does go a long way. Link to Patreon down in the show notes. If you want to stay up to date on everything I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JacksonNeil20. Today's music is by Analog by Nature with their song CDK Sunday. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you all next time.